If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Cheers back again and welcome to episode number 28 of the Chelsea Career Mode here on FIFA 15. Yesterday we had the Champions League final. If you missed it, there's a link as an annotation in the bottom left hand side of your screen to take you to it, or of course feel free to check the channel page to check that out. We had two live cup finals this week with the FA Cup final and the Champions League final on Monday and Wednesday respectively, so check those videos out if you missed them because they were pretty damn good as far as I am concerned. So today's episode is going to be, as per usual, the end of season roundup. If you're one of the 10,000 new people that have joined the channel since the start of FIFA 15, then you may not know, but what we do at the end of each season on Career Mode here on this channel is we go through all of the stats, etc., have a look through the various different leagues, do a full squad report, and we just basically sum up the season that's just finished. So we're going to start off, of course, by having a look at the final league table, and as you may remember from a couple of episodes ago, Manchester City did in fact win the Barclays Premier League by 6 points from Spurs, who were a further 2 points ahead of us. Unfortunately, we only finished third in the league, despite only losing as many games as the side that finished top. We drew 4 too many, and unfortunately our title challenge waned a little bit towards the end of the season, but we have Champions League football for next year, and there's not really too much difference between finishing second or third anyway, so pleased to have at least finished in top 3. That's where Chelsea finished last season, of course, so it's not the end of the world by any stretch. Manchester United round out the Champions League positions, as you can see. Perhaps that's an omen for real life. We'll have to wait and see. Newcastle finished 5th ahead of Arsenal. Rugby turned up for the books, and Liverpool only down in 8th. Maybe that again is an omen for what's going to happen later on this season, because of course Liverpool's struggling so far, it has to be said. FA Cup, we won the FA Cup 2-1 with a win over Southampton. Really pleased to have gotten that trophy into the cabinet. That was our first silverware of the entire series. The Capital One Cup, unfortunately, we were knocked out early on, as you can see, 6-5 rather, in the quarterfinals on penalties against Leicester, who were then lost in the next round, but Newcastle lost in the round after that. 5-1, Liverpool won that final, massive result. The Champions League, on the other hand, was a big result in our favour. 3-0, we won that game yesterday, so we're really delighted to have picked up a cup double this year. Champions League is something that is highly valued on Roman Abramovich's calendar, and fortunately we were able to win it, and Wolfsburg beat Monaco 3-0 in the Europa League final. I think that was the South American Cup, not really too sure. We're not too interested in that. We'll have a quick look at the top goal scorers from this league. Unfortunately, Remy wasn't quite able to pip Aguero to the top goal scorer. As you can see, Aguero was 16, then Soldado, Remy, and Enner Valencia on 15. Real good performance from Enner Valencia in his first year in the Premier League. He's doing that in real life as well, perhaps. This series is quite realistic, but Diego Costa, despite missing 3 months with a broken ankle, still managed to score 11 goals in the Premier League and comes 12th overall. Assist-wise, Christian Eriksen finishes top of the assist charts with RVP second. Our highest player is Remy, Willian and Hazard all sat there on 5, as you can see there in 12th, 13th and 14th respectively. We got anyone else in the list? We don't, unfortunately. So that was a decent season for us when it comes to goal scoring. I've backed out of this, please, thank you. When it comes to goal scoring and getting assists, everyone chipping in, it seems, which is good. It's nice to have assists and goals from all around the squad and not be relying solely on one player. We'll have a quick look at the other top leagues around Europe, as we normally tend to do. England will be the first one, we know that. We will of course check the Championship to see who's coming up this season. Norwich won the Championship with Fulham finishing second. They will come up automatically, and then one of Watford, Cardiff, Derby or Wigan will come up via the playoffs. Unfortunately, it doesn't let you know who has actually won the playoff competition, but it will be one of those 4. And unfortunately, from a good friend Joe Berlin HD, his Nottingham Forest finished 7th, just outside the playoffs. So better luck next year, Joe, but fingers crossed they can come up. And just out of curiosity, I want to see where Cambridge came. 15th in League 2. Well, we're definitely doing better than that in the My Player, aren't we? In France, PSG won the league by jeeps, a huge margin, 17 points from Marseille. That is massive. Monaco only finishing down in 5th. In Germany, rather expected, Bayern Munich won the league, again by 18 points this time. Bloody hell, some big margins in Europe. Weirdly, even though we're like 3/4 of the way through June, it still doesn't say that every single game has been played in the Bundesliga, which is weird. But anyway, Bayern Munich win the league. By Leverkusen 2nd, Wolfsburg and Schalke round it out. Dortmund only down in 5th. Some big teams falling off the pace so far in these league tables. Again, doesn't say that all of the games have been played in Italy, which is really bizarre. FIFA being FIFA, I think. But Juve win the league again. Inter Milan finish 2nd, a team that we may be doing a career mode with later on in the year. Or maybe even 2015, later on in the FIFA year, shall we say. Lazio come 3rd and AC come 4th, so they'll get the Champions League spots. Fiorentina and Roma only down in 6th. Again, another big side you would expect to be higher. PSV win in Holland. Portugal, Benfica win the league. We want to have a quick look at Spain. Barcelona come top of La Liga. Real Madrid 2nd and Atleti 3rd. Almost the same as real life last year, although of course Atleti came top and everyone else was one rung lower down. But it's not quite so similar in our La Liga Atletico Madrid career mode that we got going at the same time as this series, because we are top in that series right now. Teams like Valencia finishing 6th. There's been a real shake-up in Europe. Some real big teams you would expect to finish higher than they actually have been really disappointing. One player I actually wanted to quickly show you in the youth academy is this guy, Ashley Posher. He's 16 years old, 6 foot, 176 pounds or 176 limbs, left-footed. Overall, at this current rate, at this current moment in time, 72 to 76 at 16 years old, and his potential is 87 to 93. I have given him a contract and he's on his way into the first team squad, so he'll be going out on loan next year. But look at his potential. That is absolutely incredible. Hopefully he can be someone that can play a part in the first team in the 3rd season. I'm planning on doing 3 here at Chelsea. Of course, we'll see how the 2nd season goes and how well the series is still doing by the time we get to the end of the 3rd season, or end of the 2nd season. But I would like to do a 3rd if possible. Maybe we'll leave it and come back to the series at a later date. But anyway, that's for future discussions. The transfer budget, we've got 35 million sat here that I cannot spend, and I've tried. I've gone forward and not saved, just done the trick of putting everything into the wage budget to try and, you know, take the money over to the next season, and that hasn't worked for me. So the plan is to just give it all into the transfer budget and then spend it all on amazing scouts. So that he's 5, he's only 4, so I might replace him. So if we manage scouts and I have to recall him first, and then we can discard of his services. I did it again. We will cancel. We will recall you as well, and we'll hire someone. Is there anyone that's 5/5? Judgment is 5 on this guy, this Anderson. If I go out and then back in, will I get different people? No. Although Fraser Howard, I don't remember him. Maybe we will get different people. Let's just try it one more time. No. So we'll hire you because you have 5 stars in experience, in judgment rather, which is the most important thing. And we'll wait for the other guys. No, I'll do it later. Youth scouts, youth staff. We can hire some more of these guys. Recall scout, okay. Then we'll recall you as well. And then let's hire someone that is good. Experience. Well, he seems to be the best of the bunch there. And then off camera, I'll advance a little bit and replace those scouts that have been recalled with people that are better. Then we'll use up the remainder of that budget so that money isn't wasted. But the final thing to have a look at is a full squad report. Now, of course, I'll show you both sets of screens here for each player. Of course, the stats and status and the attributes as well. Thibaut Courtois still at 23, hasn't gone up overall, although his physical attributes and mental attributes have gone up. I have seen, though, pictures of people that have gotten into very, very late on in the series, or in a series, that have got Thibaut at 30 years old, and he's actually 94 rated. So he will go up in rating. The question is, will he do it until, or before he gets to like 27, 28, which is when goalkeepers really start to come into their prime. So 86 at 23 is remarkable anyway, valued at £26.5 million. 12 clean sheets in the Barclays Premier League, 21 overall from the 52 games he played. A wonderful servant for us. The average match rating is superb for him as well. Dave has gone up 1 this year, as you can see. Only the 1 goal for him, and 17 clean sheets though in 37 games. Attributes going up slightly. Not sure what to do with Azpilicueta when it comes to next season. He has been good for us, as you can see, but his average rating's a little bit low, and I'm just not sure. I just really don't know what to do with him, to be completely honest. Actually, let's do this so we can go through it position by position. Mark Schwartz is retiring at the end of this season, so he won't be playing at all for us ever again, and we will need to sign a goalkeeper for the next season. That's the thing. In the comment section down below, leave me as many suggestions as you like for new transfers, and I will pick out my favourites plus a couple that I have in mind personally for the transfer targets video that's going to come tomorrow. So as many suggestions as you can possibly throw at me, both in the comments here and on Twitter, and of course on Facebook as well. Links to Twitter and Facebook will be in the description down below. But having a further look at some of the players we've got in the squad, Branislav Ivanovic, 31 years old, but still rising in rating despite a couple of his mental attributes going down. His physical and his technical are going up, and in important places as well. Passing for a wing-back is important. Slide tackle and stand tackle both gone up 4, which is really, really good. 3 assists for him actually this season. Would preferred for him to have gotten a few more in the 33 games that he played enough games, but only a 6.4 rating as well. So again, not sure what's going to happen with Branner, whether he'll stay, whether he'll go, whether we'll look for a new right back, not entirely too sure. Todd Kane has been out on loan, and he's actually grown quite nicely, up 4 ratings to 68. Where's he been? At MK Dons in League 1. Gary Cahill is up 1 rating as well. He's been very, very solid for me this year. 38 games, no goals or assists, which is very un-Cahill-like. He does seem to score quite a few goals for centre-back in real life, but 16 clean sheets. Not really too many improvements when it comes to individual stats either. Only the 2 there, short passing and marking, both up 1, but that was enough apparently to make him go up 1 overall. Still pleased with his performances this year. He will be staying at the club. Player that might not be staying at the club is Emeric Laporte. I've been disappointed with him. As you can see, he has been pretty average all year round despite playing a lot of games, and his stats haven't really particularly improved either, and I might sell him on or use him as make weight in a deal to bring in just an outstanding world-class centre-back, because clearly my defending, as you've seen this season, isn't up to scratch, and I need someone that is already world-class, not someone that's going to grow into someone that's world-class. So I may look for perhaps a Sergio Ramos or a Mats Hummels, etc., to replace Emeric Laporte. JT unfortunately has dropped 1, although has played a few games for us this season, 30 in fact in total, although his average rating isn't the best and his stats are dropping at 34 years old. Not sure what the future holds for JT. I won't sell him or get rid of him just out of respect for him, but he may not find himself playing many games next season. Nathan Ake, not sure what to do with him. He's not the tallest, unfortunately, and I may use him in a CDM role. I may just send him out on loan if I can get a loan move for him, because he didn't go out on loan this year, and I think that hindered his progress despite the fact that all of his stats have shot up and he is up 4 overall. I think a loan move for him next year is the best deal. Kurt Zuma will definitely be playing some first team football next year. He has played 23 games this year in fact, has scored a goal and got 2 assists, and his stats are starting to go up as well, which is a good improvement for him. See, they're the same age, Ake and Kurt Zuma, and there is stark contrast in their abilities, so hopefully they can both improve next year. Andreas Christensen will either be going out on loan or being sold, one of the 2 this particular summer. Don't want him. Dave, we previously mentioned. Again, not sure what his future holds. Felipe Luis is particularly good and has been very, very solid for me this year. 1 goal, 2 assists in 36 games. His stats haven't gone up or down, but still an extremely good left back, one of the best in the game and on the game. Ricardo Rodriguez has really improved, and I'm delighted with the way he's played this year, and you'll see from his stats how good is he going to be in a couple of seasons time. Already 83 rated overall at 22, and everything is growing. Really, really good player. He may be my first team left back before too long. Felipe Luis is definitely under pressure from the young Swiss left back. Nemanja Matic had a great season for us, 39 games, only the 2 assists, but he was solid, rock solid, especially in the 2 cup finals. Really pleased with his performances this year. Short passing's gone up 5, which is really important actually for that holding mid-roll. Pleased with where he is growing as well, considering his stand and sliding tackles are going up, which again is important in that CDM role. Ramirez has been very, very good for me this year. He hasn't started a lot of games, but as you can see, coming off the bench, 46 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists. He's been invaluable, really. I was thinking of getting rid of him at the start of the series, and he's been just irreplaceable. He hasn't gone up or down apart from ball control +1, but he's going nowhere. A irreplaceable member of my midfield. Junior Malanda, apparently his form is bad, but I actually really like Junior Malanda. He's been particularly impressive for me, and will be replacing this guy. I'm going to be selling on William Carvalho, I think. So Junior Malanda, as you can see, is growing quite nicely, up 3 at 76. William Carvalho, I just don't enjoy playing with him. He is highly rated and highly potential rated, but I just haven't gotten on with him. I don't know what it is, I just don't enjoy playing with him. So he will be moving on, and Marco van Ginkel will be taking his place when he comes back from loan. Willian is a player that has done particularly well for us this season, a real tricky winger. As you can see, the status has that special something. I have to agree, he's been very, very good. Only a few improvements in his individual stats, but overall he's gone up 2 as well, 8 goals, 6 assists. Victor Moses will be being sold at the end, or at the start of the next season, to help us raise some funds. Cesc Fabregas actually didn't have as big an impact as I was hoping. 4 goals, 5 assists in 41 games isn't as much as you might expect from him, but he is a very, very good player nonetheless, and will be staying in that first team slot. Josh McEachran, I don't know what to do with Josh. 4 goals in 8 games, although they all came in the Capital One Cup against lesser opposition, but still, Josh might be going out on loan. I bought him in again because, of course, we had the issue with the squad being too big, and some of the youngsters were already out permanently, and I had to bring him back in. He might go out on loan because I do see a little bit of a future for Josh, even though he's only 70 rated at 22. Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be either set back out on loan or sold. Marco van Ginkel will be coming back into the first team. He's on loan at AC Milan, of course, at the minute, improving slightly, but hopefully he can improve even more once he gets some first team football. Eden Hazard is a wonderful player, 12 goals in all games and 8 assists, valued at close to £40 million, our highest rated player in the squad at 88. He hasn't actually improved on an individual stat basis as much as I might have liked, but I'm not really too sure why. But nevertheless, he does have potential to get over 90. Andre Schürrle is unhappy apparently. Not too sure why. I think actually, if their memory serves, he did send me an email saying he wanted me to look at his wages, so perhaps I'll do that. Andre Schürrle, 8 goals, 9 assists. I do really enjoy playing with Schürrle, and he's growing quite nicely. He was invaluable to us in the FIFA 14 Chelsea career mode, and he's been particularly good this year as well. Oscar feels threatened. Not really too surprised, because Ross Barkley's been absolutely incredible since coming into the club, but Oscar is still my first team player for that particular cam role. We'll be playing a 4-2-3-1 next year rather than the 4-3-3 that we have been playing, so perhaps he will be better suited to that higher up, further up cam role than the kind of CM/cam that he's playing this year. Only 3 goals and 6 assists for him. Not really improving too much, but he does have the potential to do so. Ross Barkley has been incredible. Came in January, played 45 games in total this year. Of course, not all for us. That will include games for Everton, but in total has scored 10 goals and 6 assists this year, the majority of which came in a Chelsea shirt. For some reason only valued at £6.5 million, but for me he's worth every single penny of the 20 and a half that we played. Lewis Baker, again not sure what to do with him. He will be either sold or sent back out on loan this year. Marco Marin will be sold on, even though he's improving slightly. I don't really see a place for him in the starting lineup. Torgan Hazard will go back out on loan again. I don't see a place for him yet in the starting lineup, unfortunately. Jeremy Boga will be sold or sent out on loan. Same with Charlie Mazonda. Lucas, I really am undecided as to what to do with him. He's decent, he's got great stats, but you know the one that really lets him down? That strength of 57. He's a fantastic player, just not for the Barclays Premier League, I don't think. 18 games for us, 1 goal, 2 assists. It just isn't good enough. I think what I would like to do is sell Lucas and bring someone in that is similar to Andre Schürrle. Someone that is pacey, has a good touch, but he's also physically stronger and taller. Perhaps someone like Jose Callahan is a name that I have floating about in my head to replace Lucas. We've had a couple of players that we've bought in, and they unfortunately haven't been good investments. Players like Lucas and William Carvalho and Aymeric Laporte. Unfortunately for them, it was a gamble to bring in all 3, and unfortunately the gamble didn't pay off, but we have still had a successful season nonetheless. Thanks mainly in part to our strikers. Diego Costa scored 22 goals in his 28 appearances this year. Incredible. absolutely incredible. His physical stats have dropped and haven't improved again since his injury, but that isn't to matter because they were brilliant anyway, and they still remain very, very good physical stats, and his technical stats are improving, and he already has 92 finishing, etc. He's gone up 1 overall, now valued £38.5 million. Really, really fantastic from him. And look at that. Loic Remy as well, scoring 19 goals this year, 15 of which came in the Barclays Premier League, 10 assists to go along with that. What did Diego get? 5. So Diego 27 goals contributed to, Loic Remy 29 goals contributed to. Really impressed with Loic, and his stats have gone up as well in some key areas like ball control and long shots, etc., as well as volleys, up 3 overall as well at 28 years of age. He's been particularly good this year. Didier Dropper will be moving on. I will be selling Didier, unfortunately. Player in my mind to bring in to replace him is actually Wilfred Boney. I really enjoy Wilfred Boney, and I might be bringing him in to replace Didier, although of course players like Edinson Cavani always get floated about, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Fernando Torres, I don't know what to do with. I honestly don't know what to do with. I love Fernando, and he's gone up 2 ratings since being at Milan. Just don't know what to do. Perhaps we'll play with him a little bit in pre-season and then decide, but I think he will be being moved on because £12 million is a lot of money we could potentially get for Fernando. Isaiah Brown will go out on loan again. Christian Atsu, I don't know what to do with him. He'll either go back out on loan or will be sold. Lucas Piazzon will go out on loan again, I would presume, and then third season might see some first-team football actually at the club, considering the way his stats are coming along now. And that rounds out the squad report. Actually, Lucas Piazzon could actually be quite good in the first team. I've got a few things to think about, don't I, over the next few days with tomorrow's transfer targets episode and then over the weekend before we get going with the second season on Monday. But that is going to bring this episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It is a long one. I do apologise for that. I do tend to ramble on, don't I, when we get going with things like this, but fingers crossed you enjoyed. If you did, then drop the video a like. That would be absolutely superb. Like I say, check the 2 previous live cup finals from earlier on in the week if you missed them. There will be a My Player episode tonight, as always, on a Thursday, so be sure to check your sub boxes for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're closing in on 30,000. It'd be fantastic if we could hit that by the end of the weekend whilst you guys are still on holiday, or the majority of you guys are still on holiday. And yeah, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. A very successful first season with a cup double and qualification for next year's Champions League. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all of your support, and I'll see you next season.